Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. I was in my grow room here today and I was just going through my plants like I do every morning and just checking on their condition, seeing if they've dried out or germinated or if there's any pests or anything. I like to go through them at least every morning, and I quite often go through them in the evening again, a little bit quicker than in the morning. I pull them all out and have a good look. But anyways, I pulled out the peppers and I was thinking that a few of the containers here, well, they've had pretty good germination and they're getting a little bit crowded. And so I was just thinning them out a little bit, and I thought some of you might like to see that process. So I thought I'd set the camera up and bring you in and give you a closer look at what I'm doing here. So hopefully this gives you a pretty good view of what I have going on here. Most of my peppers have germinated quite well for me. I have a few that I'm wondering if I have a little bit of old seed or something has malfunctioned anyways, and I'm having trouble getting them going. So I'll show you those real quick and what I'm trying to do to remedy that, and then I'll show you the thinning. These two trays here, I've had some fairly poor germination on them. Just trying to see. One was the sweet banana pepper, and you see one pot here germinated well just on this side. Now there was 4 seeds at least in every single one of these, so I'm not sure why just 2 germinated. And then this one here didn't germinate at all, and these are some extra seeds I've put on here. I'll talk about those in a minute. And then the same with my mini mixed bell peppers. Some of these were seeds that I had saved out of a pepper, and then I had my California Wonder. They're starting to come up now, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. But most of them hadn't been germinating well for me. So the ones that didn't germinate well, I've gone ahead and I just took some coffee filters. You could use paper towel, whatever you want. Well, I had some jalapenos too, and I've fixed those up. I don't know where they are, but yeah, I'd fixed those up, so they're coming now too. But anyway, so you take some paper towel, or in this case I have coffee filters I just cut in half, and I just set the seed on top and I sprayed it down to keep it wet. And I've had a cover on here, and I just set a label on top of each one of these so I knew which variety. And I've just been trying to chit them out to see if the seed is no good, or if it was something that I had done, or what the issue was there. And like you can see, these sweet banana peppers, I did this April 2nd. It's the 9th, so they've had 7 days, and I think I took 2 seeds out of here that have chitted and put them in the soil. Otherwise nothing has. So I'm thinking that seed isn't super good, but it's 7 days. They still have time. They could take a couple of weeks to go. So I'll leave those there and just see if they start to shoot for me. And California Wonder, I've actually taken quite a few seeds out of here. But I think I was at probably about 50% germination right away with these, and the rest haven't been doing anything. Again, it's only been a week, so they still have time. But I have moved some seeds out of there, and I'll talk about that again. And this jalapeno peppers, I had 2 open packages, and I wasn't sure which one I had planted out of. Didn't mark it well, so I just dumped the rest of the one packet out here, and they haven't done a whole lot. So again, I'm thinking the seed is just quite old and not doing a lot, but it has been a week. I'll give them another week here and see if they get going. So the main thing, if you're going to chit seeds, is to keep them moist, and they should go for you. Now, I haven't had these on heat, so that would probably help a little bit, but then I found they were drying out a little bit, so I've I've just had them out of the way. So the seeds that did germinate, I did chit there, I was taking and putting, I had some mini bell peppers that I had saved from some of the orange ones that I liked, and I chitted those. And so I've put them in, I've buried them down just ever so slightly in the soil. And they had little roots, so I'm hoping they're going to come up here soon. I'm not seeing any right now. And these guys, this is a sweet banana, and I think I had just, when I started chitting some of those, I had just threw a few on the soil surface here to see if they do anything. Now when I was just moving around, I can see a tiny little seed trying to push up some growth there, so I'll just leave that down there and let it do its thing. So they might still come, but these were planted March 20th, so it's getting pretty long for them to be still thinking about germinating. The California Wonder took a very long time too, so I had started some new seeds because I thought they weren't coming, and then it was like they knew I had no faith in them, and they've started to sprout some up. Now some of them, these really little ones, I had some chitted seed and I put it in under the soil a little bit, and then they started throwing up other plants too. So it does seem like the ones that I chitted, that I was able to get to chit and put in here, have started to come up, and then there's been a few that I think just took their time to get going. So maybe I buried some of these a little bit deep. These I'm still waiting to see. They had roots when I chitted them, and actually looks like there's one right there. Yeah, it's right on top of the surface there. It kind of blends in with the perlite. So we'll see what happens with these, but I hope I get something out of these. All the rest seem to have come up. There's jalapenos that I thought they weren't going to come up. So I had started all those seeds there, and then they slowly are coming up. So some of them are just taking a little bit longer to get going. Usually peppers will germinate in about 2 weeks, but for whatever reason, whether I just buried them a little bit deep with adding the vermiculite on top this year, or if it's just older seed taking longer, I'm not sure what the issue was with a few of these bags here, but some of them definitely took their time to get going, but they are coming now, so hopefully I get a good show. So these three here are actually eggplant in the front here. I have 3 kinds of eggplant there. But let's show you the ones that have grown really well and what I'm doing to thin them out. This tray here, Hungarian hot wax and Toei Romanian and King of the North, if I'm reading those backwards correctly. So I've already gone through and thinned these, so now I'm down to 2 strong pepper plants in each of these bags, and that's how I will leave them. These 2 are a little bit closer than I would have preferred them. I like them to be, a few inches apart like this, but these were the strongest ones in here, and they looked the healthiest. The other one was really weak, so I took it out. And I'm just going to leave them growing on like this in here until they get a couple more sets of these true leaves here. These leaves are I always say it wrong, the Coladon leaves, I think it's called. These are just what helps to push open the seed and push up through the soil and get the plant started. And you can see they're a little bit different shape than the true leaves. So these are the true leaves, the real sets of leaves here, and I want to have about 3, probably sometimes even 4. I'll wait, and then I'll start pinching the tops out. of these plants to help them branch and get bushier. I learned that lesson kind of the hard way, I guess, through a hailstorm a few years ago, and I already had my peppers out, and a hailstorm came through and just smashed the peppers down to basically sticks, and that's when I learned that trimming them back is actually good for them, because they came back, branched out all over the place, and I had some of the healthiest, most productive peppers I ever had up to that point. So now I always make sure that I pinch them back. So I'll show you that in a later video when they get to that point. So let's get a tray out here that still needs to be thinned out. So these ones aren't quite as far advanced as the last tray here, but let's see what we have. This is the lipstick. Oh, are they all lipstick in here? I don't think so. Oh, these are the mini bell mix. Yeah, so I have 3 mini bell and 3 lipstick in this one. So what I'm gonna do is just go through. Hopefully you can see. Maybe I'll take one of these out just so it's easier to see. And I'll just look through. Now these all look fairly similar in their growth and health. This one's maybe a little bit further behind, but no real big difference in them. So I'm going to look more at spacing with these ones, and I'm going to just keep this one and this one because they'll be spaced out nicely, because I'll eventually just plant this whole thing in the garden like this. I like to plant them in pairs. So I'm just going to take my snips and go right close to the soil level and just snip those 2 off and take them out, and they can go in the compost. Now this tray, or this pouch or whatever, I can see there's another one trying to even come up here, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4 right now, and then there's another one trying to come up. But you can see, like, this one looks a little bit deformed. It doesn't look as healthy, so I'm definitely going to take this one out. And then these 2 are just too close together. So I'll take one of them. I'll take the more inside one here. And that leaves these 2. And like I said, there's at least one more trying to poke up here. So I'll deal with it when it comes. I wouldn't normally like to leave one quite so close to the edge here. This one's right at the edge of the soil. But when I plant it outside, it will get more soil around the roots on this side, so it will be okay. It just might be a little tougher for a little while here, but the roots will move into the soil around there. So I'll keep those like that. This one, you can see how I planted. These ones came up really nicely spaced. And I have 2 that are growing their true leaves here, so I'll just take the other 2 out. These have nice strong looking they're baby leaves here, so these look like good healthy plants. These ones are a little weaker looking, and I'll just take them off. Now those ones that I took off, they're obviously younger, I would say, by looking at them, so they may have grown to be just as healthy, but at this point that doesn't really matter. These are a little further advanced, and they look like good healthy plants. They're spaced nicely, so I'm going to keep them. The same with these. These aren't as far along. These ones haven't even grown their true leaves. This one's starting to. I don't know if you can see that. This one has a little bit more, so I'm just going to take out the 2 smaller ones. Okay, so I went through, and this is my trimmings that I took out there. So those will all go to the compost. So one quick thing to note is, you might say, well, why didn't you just pull them out? Why do you clip them off? If you pull them out, you run the risk of disturbing the roots of the other plants that you're trying to keep. So it's just easier and more beneficial to clip them off. Peppers, tomatoes tend to be pretty hardy plants, so an eggplant too. I think you probably could just pull them out if you don't have something fine enough to get in there. It's better to thin them out than to leave them. But I find the clipping is quick, it's easy for me, and then I'm not risking ruining the root systems of the plants I'm trying to keep. When you clip them off and you clip them down low to the soil like that, then the plant isn't going to come back from that point. So you're safe to do that and not have those plants continue to grow and produce roots in those ones that you clipped off. So I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, then let me know in the comments down below. When do you start thinning your peppers, and when do you start pinching them back? I'd love to hear what you guys are doing with your pepper plants. Are you growing peppers this year? What varieties are you growing? Let me know in the comments down below, and let's get a conversation started. Thanks for watching. Bye.